Welcome to this week's episode of Success in Women. Today, you're in for a special treat. Today, we're actually going to show you ladies how to make a proper, huge Italian sauce. Something that a lot of you probably enjoy when you go to your friend's place if you're not Italian, but you know my co-host Andrea, which is not beside me right now, is at her winter home in Florida, and she's going to cook up a huge, authentic sauce just to show you ladies. Now, we have also invited her very good friend as her sous chef because there is a lot of work, but ladies, it will be worth it. Your families will love you for it. So we're going to go into the kitchen and see how we need to start preparing this wonderful sauce. We'll see you in a couple minutes. So we're in Andrea's kitchen.
Hi, ladies.
And she has her friend, Yasha. Yasha, you can look up.
Hi, ladies.
So in the kitchen today, you can see that Yasha is, and Andrea's going to explain everything that they're doing, but Yasha's getting something ready to actually go into the sauce. A couple of things were prepared for you just so that you can see. And Andrea, why don't you take the ladies through this little journey of how they even start?
Okay. Well, ladies, as you know, and I've told you in episodes, I'm married to an Italian, and I've been with my mother-in-law for 30-some years. That could be another episode, but for the most part, good. And she taught me how to make sauce. Number one, you must learn in an Italian family. But this sauce here, so there's different ways to make it, but this sauce here is a different one, and it's made with pork neck bones, which a lot of the men love to eat after you put it in the sauce, and it comes nice and tender. So anyways, basically the basic sauce is, I'll start off with putting in the olive oil, and you know, I do everything by eye, so you just sort of put it, drop it in, cover the bottom of the pan, get it started to heat up.
I'm learning. So
Yes, Yasha wanted to learn this way. She makes a sauce, but not this sauce.
No.
So I'm showing her how to do that.
And I'm very thankful.
So then we chop up the onion and the garlic. Now, what I do is I just quarter it because I have a daughter who cannot have onion and garlic. So I'll just put them in quarters, and that way you can fish them out after. You can also, I guess, use like garlic powder, onion powder, but definitely isn't the same. So we just start throwing that in there and the garlic, and you let it saute. You can leave them as big as you want. Now you can dice them up if you want, if you like to have those little bits of onion and garlic in your sauce, which I do, but I'm not able to do that for my daughter, because if she has onion or garlic, she suffers. But if you fish it out, then she's fine. It's the weirdest thing. Okay, so we got that going. I'll wait a second on the garlic so it doesn't burn. Get that. So girls, once the onions and the garlic are sauteing, we wash the neck bones, and now we're going to just lightly season them: salt, pepper, garlic powder, whatever flavors you enjoy. And then once we've done that, we will brown them. So this is the only meat that will be browned that I'll put in here, because I'll put in a sausage and the meatballs raw into the sauce after about a half an hour of the tomatoes cooking down. So that's what Yasha is going to be doing right now. Yeah. So now I'm doing the same with the garlic. I'm doing it in chunks because I have to take it out. I mean, right now, since my daughter is not here in Florida, I can do it, but this is the way I've always done it. So I'll just continue to do the chunks. Okay, so now I'm going to add the tomato paste. I'm going to put that in to get cooked in with the onion and the garlic and cook the tomato paste. That brings out the flavor. And then the idea is to have tomato paste so to have a thicker sauce. You don't want a thick sauce, you know, you don't have to put that in, but myself and my family, we love the thicker sauce. So get that in there and we'll just stir that around. And once that's all ready, then we put the tomatoes in, let them cook down for maybe a half an hour before I start putting in the meat. So ladies, we've had the sauce, the tomato paste now cooking down for a few minutes with the onion and the garlic. So now I'm going to start with the tomatoes. Because I'm in Florida, I was only able to bring 2 jars of our homemade tomato sauce. At home, we make, in September, we make 2 or 3 bushels. So I always have them on in the food cellar. But I brought 2 down, but now I thought I was just going to make a small batch, but now we have some company coming. So I'm going to make a bigger batch, as you can see. So I bought the puree or passata. This one is muti. It's very good. You can buy anything, or you can buy only the passata. You don't have to have fresh tomatoes that you made yourself. You can go to the store and buy this. And I like the ones in the jar because they don't have so much of the tin flavor. So now I'm just going to remove this a bit because I don't want to splash up. And then we'll just start pouring the tomatoes. And Yasha, can you put just a little bit of water and kind of get all the tomato out of there? And this one is a little thicker, passata. Some other brands are thinner, but I really prefer the muti. Okay, we got some sauce cooking here, ladies. Look at that. Now all that onion and garlic and the tomato paste that was cooked will simmer inside the tomatoes. Then after about half an hour, we'll start to add the meat. And then we'll simmer for at least an hour and a half. Now, ladies, we have the sauce simmering. I'm going to bring it to a boil, then turn it down a bit. And in the meantime, I'm going to start browning the pork neck bones. That gives it a lot of flavor, the sauce. So we just add some olive oil. Yasha's already washed and seasoned the neck bones. And now we'll brown them so that they'll be ready to put in the sauce when it's simmered after about half an hour. Because I'm going to put in the meatballs and the sausage at the same time, but they'll be raw. And they'll cook for a good hour. Okay. When it gets nice and hot, we'll brown them. Okay, so now Yasha's going to be adding the neck bones to the hot oil and getting them brown on both sides. Doesn't take that long. Once you get the pan hot. Waiting for this to come to a boil. Now, a lot of people, some people will add also fresh basil. Now, there was, when I made the sauce, in both jars was added already salt and fresh basil. So that tomato's been sitting in the basil for a while. So I won't add any more. You can if you really love the flavor, but my husband's not that crazy about it, so.
So you can see Yasha's flipping all of these as she's browning the neck bones. They're coming along really nicely. And soon they're going to end up going into the pot of sauce.
Yeah.
Hi, ladies. So while Yasha is browning the neck bones, I'm going to start on the meatballs. Now this is a pork meatball. There's no veal or beef in this. So I'm going to start. I have 2 pounds of pork, ground pork, lean ground pork. And you can adjust to your family size. Now I'm putting in a dozen eggs. And I know you girls are going to say, oh my goodness, a dozen eggs. But they make them nice and soft. And because my daughter's not here, I'm going to put in real chopped onions, because normally I'd have to put in onion powder, but there's nothing like fresh chopped onion. So we'll see how much that is. And they're going to be very wet, and you can see I'm using my hands because that's the best way. Oh, Yasha, do you mind opening this? So as a binder, we're gonna be putting in a lot of, can that come out?
Yeah.
Parmesan cheese. Now at home, I have the fresh parm. We buy it from the Italian deli, but couldn't really find that here. There was some, but I wasn't sure of it, so yeah, we'll use it. I mean, how bad can it be? So we are gonna put practically the whole jar in here. This was in the freezer, that's why it looks chunky. Okay, now I'm stuck. Yeah, do you have a spoon?
Right here.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and then just dig in there and this way? Yeah. Okay, because it's probably frozen. Okay, there you go. A little bit more. So I put in the parm. I put in about, a cup. You could put more if you like. And now I'm going to add some breadcrumb.
How much are you putting in there, Andrew?
Good question. It's an eyeball thing now. You know that. Just when you feel that you can kind of make a meatball. There we go. See that little bit just made it nice. But I could make it. They're going to feel wet, but that's okay. That means they're going to be nice and tender and soft when we put them in the sauce. And I'm going to leave some out because my husband likes them. I make like little flat sticks almost, they look like, and fry them up as a little appetizer. Okay, now. Okay, so now I added some salt, add some pepper, much as you prefer. I love pepper, but not everybody likes it, so just put enough. A little bit more salt. Okay, so basically that's the meatball mixture. And then you start rolling. And like I said, I'm going to put the raw meatball in the sauce in about 15 minutes. And then I'm going to leave some out to fry. And then we also have fresh Italian sausage, mild. So I'm going to put probably 1 in just to give it some flavor. And then the other 3, when I make the spaghetti, I will cook them up and have them as a side dish. So the sauce was coming to a boil, and it boiled for about, I want to say 15 or so minutes. So now I've turned it down, put it on a light like 3 right now. And we're gonna start rolling the meatballs. And by the time we get that done, the sauce should be ready to add the meat. And Yasha's done now. Look how beautiful the neck bones look, nice and brown, ready for the sauce. All that flavor is gonna go inside the sauce. Yum. And I have the sausage ready to go also. And you know what, ladies, that's basically it. And then you let her cook for an hour and a half. You make the meatballs as big as you want. That looks like a good size. And then, like I said, I'm going to do this. So my husband likes them fried. So what I do is I make like little sticks like that. So that after I've got the sauce all ready and the meat's in there, I'll just fry a couple of these up so he can have some while he's waiting for the pasta, because he's always hungry and waiting. That's it. Okay, ladies, I think it's time to start adding the meat. So it's been bubbling away, bubbling down. I'm gonna have to judge the meat because normally at home I have 8 jars. This time I only did 4, so we'll see how much room we have in there. Want to get the neck bones in for sure. Scatter them around. And if there's too many meatballs, I'll just freeze them. Or you know what I may do is I'll just put a few in for flavor, and I'll cook the rest in the oven with the sausage. That way, not close, we'll have the salt from the sauce and meatballs. Well, everybody's different. Some people love them out of the sauce, but they're soft and tender. And then out of the oven, they're more crusty on the outside. So we kind of nestle those in there. My sausage. And as you can see, Yasha is frying up a few of those little sticks that I made with the salt mixture. Those are very good. So I can make a few more of those. Yeah. So now we're going to flop those in. Very carefully so they don't fall apart. Because they are very wet from all the eggs. But that's what gives them that nice soft. And the Parmesan makes it soft. So here's the last meatball we're gonna nestle in. And as you can see, why you need a big pot, because once you get all that meat in there, the sauce grows. And like I said, at home, I would probably have another couple of jars. And look how beautiful the fried ones came out. Gorgeous. And they're going to be tasty. So girls, basically that's it. It'll cook now for an hour and a half on simmer. The meat will cook nice and slow and tender. Then at the end, you can add salt, whatever salt or taste you want, pepper. And the cheese from the meatballs will also give the sauce some flavor. So I hope you try this at home. And maybe later when it's all done, we can show you what it looks like or have a taste. So ladies, it's been an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we're all done. So here's the big reveal. Ta-da! Doesn't that look delicious?
Wow, that looks amazing, Andrea. I can't wait to taste it.
Okay.
And actually, look at these nice fried, I'm not even sure what you call these things, but these appetizers look appetizing.
Yeah.
So how about you serve me and I can give everybody, because this is my first time trying any of this, and let you know how much it is as far as appealing, because it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it doesn't
So
have-
now we're gonna have a lot of that little bit of sauce.
Here's one of the bones. Now we'll put a little bit of sauce.
Well, I'm ready for my food, and Andrea's kind enough to serve it to me. She not only made it, but now she's serving me.
Well, there's no pasta, but I put a little bit of fresh bread for dunking, which I love to do
Now,
with the
look
sauce.
at this. Isn't this amazing looking? And I know that if you have your favorite pasta, there's a lot of sauce, and that would be great. But for today, I just want to try all this wonderful food. So I'm going to start with the meatball, because that was my most exciting thing to see getting made, with pork and cheese and breadcrumb and all those eggs. Here goes. Oh my goodness. You know, Andrea mentioned how tender and soft, and they're so juicy and flavorful. I've never had meatballs like this in my entire life. Wow. Now I've got a piece of the Italian mild sausage that went in as a whole thing. Wow. Now you think I never ate before, but oh, this is amazing food. I haven't even mentioned the fact that I love the flavor of the tomato sauce.
Yeah, the bones, you gotta
There
kind of,
are a lot of bone, but never in my life have I had neck bones of a pig,
okay,
and it's amazing
delicious.
and very, very tasty. Now, this little appetizer that doesn't normally get served with all this sauce, it's the extra sauce, appetizer. Delicious. Ladies, if you want to make a hit with your family, this is worth doing. A lot of work, yeah, but as you can see, you can make the volume that you want and have it frozen for future. Your family will think that you just made it fresh, and they will enjoy and appreciate all the efforts that you're doing. So another episode of Success in Women. We're here to support you and help you in any way we can. Food, fashion, decorating, work, business. Come and tune in. Subscribe, share, like, and pass it on to your friends. We'll see you next week.